Welcome, I'm Crystal Gate. I'm playing From Glory to Go, and I'm today going to play mutant avenger strat. The excessive automation is just taking general economy boost, as is Silent Go. I think improved alloys is pretty much mandatory if you use an infantry strat. The counter vibration sounds like it may not be necessary for avengers because they are already silent, but well, you will see why they are still great. I'm going to pick set. I'm having quite a bad start actually.
On my way. On my way. Attack! Attack! Attack!
I did get Goopy on the first level up. You want to get Goopy at least one of the level ups. If you can get it on both, it's good, but it's important that you get it at least on one of the level ups. If you don't, you have pretty much been shafted. In my opinion, there's two main strat with a mutant. Either you go melee, like Avengers, and optionally switch it up to brutes later. Or you take advantage of the fact that the mutant can both spawn his own minions and the fact that he can revive some enemy units into his own side. What you do is that you then use them to basically guard and not having to build up an army. So you can just go full on building up your economy. The mutant is, I would say, the third most powerful character on his own. The seventh and the swarm can become stronger, but the mutant, if he gets at least one Goopy, is definitely the third place. What he can do is to single-handedly take areas that most other captains would not be able to. So you can expand quite far without needing to build troops, and you can also hold the areas by taking advantage of minions that the mutant either spawns or revives. I'm going to go with an avenger strat though.
We're under attack.
I have to take a few very low yield pumps because, well, I'm pretty starved for water here. I do need to get enough water to unlock the factory research.
On my orders received.
The factory research is pretty much mandatory. I am using the anvil ship though, which in this case the research bonus becomes very useful. Normally I don't find research bonus useful because the game is typically balanced for no research bonus, so it's easy enough to stay ahead of the curve without research bonus, but now that I got a bad start, the research bonus does come quite in handy.
Attack! On my way.
We're under attack.
Okay, first goal, as pretty much always, get the minerals and get the first factory up.
Attack! We're on my way. Attack! On my way.
We're under attack.
On my way. Attack! Attack! On my way. Orders received. Orders received. On my way. Orders received.
There may be some guest commentary from my cat. I have no idea why she's meowing. She just recently got food, so that should not be the problem.
Orders received. On my way. Attack! On my way.
We're under attack. We're under attack.
Attack! Attack! Attack!
I was rather late with the factory. I researched it, but I forgot to build it.
Orders received. Attack! On my way.
We're under attack.
Now my next goal is for the ship, and
Orders received.
I want Two
We're under
stores.
attack.
This will offset the penalty I got from picking excessive automation. After that, I want first 3 and then 8 academies.
Attack! On my way.
We're under attack.
Attack! On my way. Copy. On my way. Orders received.
I don't have that great of an economy, but I'm still having problem not flooding the effort. The reason is because I don't really want to
We're
build
under attack.
avengers until I have the academy up. The avengers have a tendency to get a bit too fragile otherwise.
Attack! Orders received.
That said, I should probably have built more of them
Copy. Affirmative.
right away and not just a few lancers. Oh yeah, I'm starting now.
Attack! On my way. Attack! Go follow me. Copy.
We're under attack.
Copy. Attack!
I am building the sensory towers, hopefully to find more grass.
We're under attack.
Attack! On my way.
I have not built any real defenses against the first wave, but I don't have to because I'm playing the mutant and I got Goopy so he can handle the first wave himself. The mutant might also be able to handle the second wave as well, but I'm not going to test that.
Attack! Orders received.
I found some more ore, and that's great because even though Avengers don't really need much ore, it's still good to get ore early on, just so I can get the academies quicker.
Go, go, go!
Another sensory tower is being built.
Move. Go, go, go! Follow me. On my way. Orders received. On my way.
Yeah, the mutant is handling me easily. Also, I got a bit lucky with the enemy commander. I got the brain, and the brain is really great for the mutant. For one big reason. That is that he has more mutated enemies in his wave. And that is really great for the mutant because he can revive them, and tada, I suddenly got a lot of admittedly extremely weak soldiers, but still 100% free, and they
Orders received.
by sheer numbers are going to be able to do a little. To be honest, all those tainted are about as much worth as 3 Avengers, so it's not that great, but still perfectly free soldiers.
On my way.
3 academies is enough to get my barrack units to start at level 2. I'm going to need then
We're under attack.
another 5 to get them to start
On my way.
at level 3.
On
We're
my
under
way.
attack. We're under attack.
The taint that I have are going to be of somewhat use because I did get improved alloys. That 1 extra armor will help a lot with giving them some semblance of survival.
We're under attack. Attack.
Orders received.
We're under attack.
Orders received. Attack. Attack.
Yeah, I managed to revive a mutated trooper as well. I think that's a pretty recent addition that you can revive them. And well, they do help quite a bit.
We're under attack.
Well, they do help quite a bit if you haven't built a lot of troops already. Once you do get a suicidal army, they are going to stop making much of a difference.
We're under attack.
On my way. Orders received. Orders received.
But hey, 2 more mutated troopers. Entirely for free, and they can help the avengers in case they are attacked by air units. And I guess a little bit of fire support, although in terms of firepower the mutated troopers does almost nothing
We're under attack.
compared to the avengers, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference.
Follow me. Orders received.
What does make a difference is the lancers.
On my way. Attack.
We're under attack.
I'm going to use avengers as main units, but I'm going to use lancers to support them. The
We're under attack.
avengers, really any melee unit is going to need some sort of ranged support. For ranged support for melee units, I think that the either lancers for humans and well, the heavy support droids for the robots are the best pick.
Attack.
Having great range with massive firepower does count for a lot more than having just consistent damage per second. In fact, the Avengers themselves are going to provide most of the damage per second anyway. The main role of support units is to
We're under attack.
handle whatever Avengers are bad at.
Confirmed.
We're under attack.
Oh, my strategy for building all those academy is to pick a square that I want to build a garden in. Then build crew quarters instead. Surround it with academies. And then build the garden. When you have crew quarters, you can build armories directly on the adjacent tiles instead of having to first build crew quarters. So that way I can, at the expense of one crew quarter, save the cost of 4 crew quarters. Well, actually only 3 crew quarters, because in practice I have to build up one of the surrounding tiles first. Here the land source utilities demonstrates a bit. They are able to shoot down enemy units before they get close. And that's good, because when enemy units get close, they start pulling my avengers. And that's usually how you lose avengers, or for that sake, all melee units.
Orders received.
I have built my academies and also my stores. Often I will build 9 more stores, but I'm a bit starved right now for water effort. In fact, my effort income is on single digit. I'm relying solely on the ship right now, so for that reason I'm not wasting resources on building more storage. I just want to offset the penalty I got from excessive automation. After that, getting more effort income is going to be more important than building speed. The second wave is coming from a very fortunate direction. That is the direction at which I'm expanding to, meaning I can handle the wave with my clearing army. It's always great if you don't have to either build extra defenses to handle the wave or move the clearing army back half a wave just to intercept the wave.
On my way. Orders received. Attack! On my way. On my way. Confirmed. Orders received. On my way. Attack! Orders received. On my way. On my way.
I misjudged where the enemy wave is going to come, but it doesn't really matter that much. as it turns out. And well, if you're playing melee, you can just intercept the enemy swarm like that. You don't need any walls or cannons or anything, just attack them with your melee units.
On my way.
We're under attack.
I don't think I lost a single Avengers, but I got a lot of new tainted to reinforce my army. The tainted aren't going to live very long though. They are way too weak. The academies doesn't help them. Either they are not going to level up. If they did, that would help them a lot. But, well...
We're under attack.
Affirmative. Confirmed. Affirmative.
Anyway, the reason that melee units can just intercept waves like that is because of a balancing quirk. Melee units are very bad at holding positions. They are easily pulled. If a goop lobber shoots at them, they are going to wander right into enemy lines and get killed. They are also often allowing themselves to be pulled by single incoming treasures.
We're under attack.
Confirmed.
To compensate for the fact that they are very bad at holding and have a somewhat suicidal behavior, their strength became overtuned and they are way stronger than other units compared to their cost. My effort income is at 50 right now. It's getting better, but I haven't really recovered from bad strat. Oh yeah, and here's a start what's going to be my main strategy with melee. Normally I would just attack until I reach unsuppressed terrain and then I would hold there. But Avengers doesn't hold, so what I instead do is that I push out much further and then I pull them back.
We're under attack.
After that I am relying on the lancers to shoot down incoming enemies, prevent them from disrupting my Avengers.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
There's going to be another demonstration, I think.
We're under attack.
Now I pull them back, and the lancers will take care of enemies that pursue the Avengers.
We're under attack.
my effort income is still pretty bad, and I'm relying really heavily on the
We're under attack.
ship.
On my way.
I am going to hit 3 digits soon, I think.
We're under attack.
Go, go, go.
We're under attack.
Follow me.
We're under attack.
I'm finding more grass now.
We're under attack.
Orders received.
We're under attack.
Third wave is approaching. It didn't come in an as advantageous angle though.
We're under attack.
Yeah, here's the problem with avengers. It's very hard for them to just stay and hold. So either you need to retreat further back, or you have to turn around and get offensive with them.
We're under attack.
On my way.
Go on the offense with them. I withdrew my troops too quick here.
Attack. On my way. On my way.
We're under attack.
On my way.
Try to get the SAMs up before the third wave.
Attack.
That's about when flyers start to become a serious consideration. Doesn't apply so much if you're playing against the RFI other than against well, waves really, but
On my way. Orders received.
with a melee strat, I have been able to intercept up to 4th wave. That was with spinners. I'm building a second recycler. I missed the first one. But well. And I got a lot of more troops.
We're under attack.
Most of them are going to disappear very soon. Normally I would have taken the ability that lets me convert the Avengers to brutes, but I wanted to stick to Avengers for this video. Other than being able to merge Avengers into brutes, the mutant doesn't really have any good skills. That he gets the level 4 and level 7 skills.
We're under attack.
They kind of sucks with the exception of merging Avengers into brutes. So if you're not going to use that one, you're usually better off picking one of the generic skills. Oh yeah, and now that I'm going deep into the sand with my solos, this is why I did choose the kinetic dampers. The Avengers don't need the kinetic dampers. The stratagem that makes the units do less vibration, but the lancers do need. Going into sand, unsuppressed sand with lancers would be suicide if I didn't have the kinetic dampers. I can tell that I have lost a group of more than 20 walkers in pretty much one swoop by accidentally marching them through sand. You really can't do that unless you have the kinetic dampeners.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
If you use melee units like I'm using them right now, you really need to get them up to a high enough level so they take only 1 damage from treasures. Otherwise they are going to take heavy losses.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Again, attack, withdraw the avengers and have lancers shoot down the pursuing enemies.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
On my way.
We're under attack.
Oh yeah, let's discuss why I think the lancers are the best supporting units for avengers.
We're under attack.
One important function is to shoot down goop lobbers. And here's the important part. They by far outrange goop lobbers, so they have a good chance of shooting incoming goop lobbers before they are able to even get a shot off. That is also coupled with them having high damage per shot and slow fire rate. They shoot a shot and most things they shoot that will then just die. This definitely goes for goop lobbers. Here I'm going to get some turrets instead with some help of troops. But I ended up walling in, or rather keep walling out the only entrance, so I had to sacrifice the geyser. I do get quite a bit of autocannons and also a few, I think, called lobbers to to shoot, so plenty of firepower, but starting fourth wave and forwards,
We're under attack.
you can't really hold them very well with just turrets. This tends to be the point where, well, you can, if you're playing melee, hold them with just
We're under attack.
army, but you often want boats, cannons, turrets, and... Oh, I messed up here. You want typically both turrets
We're under attack.
and some part of your clearing army to help out. Yeah, as I said before, if you run out of energy, the best strategy for humans is to just turn off every robotics. I have insufficient defenses. The only reason that I'm surviving is because melee units are way more powerful than they have any right to be. And to compensate for the fact that they have a suicidal behavior. I kind of think that their suicidal behavior should be fixed, and then they should become much weaker. Perhaps not much, but still significantly weaker. Because right now I feel like they are just overtuned to compensate for well-being, for having bad AI.
We're under attack.
Story-wise, also makes very little sense. The game says that the reclaimed, and I have to guess the avengers, are given melee weapons because they can't be trusted with anything more. But the truth is that the melee units would pretty much trash the range units. They have heavy armor, so they take only 55% damage from anything ranged, and since they are melee units, nothing takes reduced damage from them. So really, the gameplay doesn't back up what the story says. There's no safety in giving them melee weapon. If the avengers were to, well, be, I guess, turn back into serving the good, there would be no stopping them.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Right away.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under
Right
attack.
away.
The biomeshers are very tanky, but they have shitty DPS, so I am basically backing them up with the artillery. I'm still experimenting a bit with biomecha, what works
We're under
best for
attack.
them. This game kind of rewards more DPS over tankiness. More like you should have a good DPS, and anyway, if you have a good DPS, it's an advantage if you can take a few hits as well. But overall, the biomesh don't get that much. At least not yet the advantage due to the tankiness. They need a DPS backup. That said, they are very cheap in ore, so if you want to go biomechs, you can, like, for the same ore that you build a walker, you can build one
We're under attack.
biomech and then either one electro cyber or one lancer.
We're under attack.
There are other resources involved, of course, but I would say those are the,
We're under attack.
or tends to be the most important resource.
Confirm. Confirm. Right way.
Affirmative.
Initiating.
We're under attack. We're under attack.
Initiating.
We're under attack.
Initiating. 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 Confirm. Right way.
The fact that the biomechs are so tanky does help a bit against waves if you have some DPS backup, because they are a bit then like mobile walls.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Affirmative. Follow me.
Initiating.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Attack!
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Attack! Orders received. Orders received.
We're under attack.
Attack!
I'm making a mistake here. I'm trying to ally with a tribe, but the mutant can't do that.
We're under attack.
It's one of his traits. Well, I think the best option would probably have been to destroy the tribe.
We're under attack.
Build some walls, then hostile the tribe and start shooting it from behind the wall. And then send in a force to clean up the rest.
We're under attack.
Yeah, this is where I realized that, yeah, I can't ally with the tribe.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack.
On my way.
We're under attack. We're under attack.
I'm looking for the best place to
We're
get
under
more isotopes, and well, there are 2 patches there, so...
We're under attack.
Right away.
On my way.
We're under attack.
I sent some of my units through unsuppressed sand. If I didn't have the kinetic dampener stratagem, those units would have been lost. I have once lost more than 20 walkers because they walked into sand.
We're under attack.
And this is also why I did need a kinetic dampeners for my avengers, since they had backup by the lancers. I needed it simply for the sake of the lancers, because the lancers would have been absolutely destroyed. No questions asked. Any time they would have walked into the sand. I must say that the fact that the biomechs can attack air units do help them quite a bit in terms of both convenience and utility. Personally thinking that if you're going to use biomech, a good recipe might be 2 biomechs, 1 electro-cyborg and 1 lancer, and then you repeat that pattern. The biomech will tank and provide a little bit of damage. The electro-cyborg deals with multiple enemies, and the lancers deal with single enemies. Oh yeah, I have a fossil that gives me bonuses to research. The bonus research that the big fossil gives is completely, well, almost completely useless, because I already unlocked everything. In theory, it will make research cheaper. In practice, however, I'm going to have to spend crystal and ore on it, which I could otherwise have spent on something else. It's not going to help either way.
We're under attack.
Confirmed.
Engage.
I'm done building avengers, so I'm removing academies now. I'm better off building something else, like, well, just more housing, really. Oh yeah, my effort income is now on negatives. It's not ever going up on positive, so it's all about the ship now. For this biome, I think if you're playing humans that you should do use either the ship I'm using right now or the even bigger ship, the Phoenix, because you absolutely do need to have a high effort, or perhaps you don't necessarily need, but I would say it's really helpful in this stage. If you're playing something like the Oasis, or any stage that uses the lush biome, that tends to not be necessary, since you usually get more than enough income from all the grass. That set is a bit grass starved, so ending up in the situation where I am right now with more or less no effort. Income on the surface that is basically standard. There's practically no reason to take more grass, because I'm not going to get the effort up to positive anyway. I will mention this. The hubs and the biomes, they are still responsible for providing maximum effort, so you can't just remove them. You do have to keep them. That said, what I should look at, something I realize now, is the robotics. If they do anything useful right now, if they provide any maximum effort. Because otherwise, those are buildings that I should delete once I get into this situation.
Initiating. Right away. Right away. Right away. Right away. Confirmed.
That was not one of the cleanest defenses, but well, it doesn't matter that much because I have too many resources for that setback to make that much of a difference.
Copy. Follow me.
To be honest, I should probably not build up the ship anymore. There's barely enough time for it to really matter. The recipe I'm using is 1 habitat, 1 reactor and 2 manufacturing buys. That is going to provide a pretty stable increase.
Confirm. Confirm. Confirm.
Engage.
Right away. Confirm.
With a Phoenix, I have managed to get more than 3,000 effort each time the ship delivers effort. And with the roboticist who gets 1.5 bonus, I got over 5,000 effort, so you can build a lot with just
Right away.
the effort from the ship if you have a big one, especially Phoenix. The anvil is still good. I really need to stop building up the anvil because there's like 20 cycles left for me to benefit. Well, a bit more, because once the final wave starts I'm still going to get effort, although I'm probably going to be too busy spending them though. minus 3000 effort income. This is pretty much how the end game goes in this game, at least for set. You get a huge negative effort income, and this is typical for this game.
Right away. Confirm. Right away.
Black and white cat needs food badly. Never mind the fact that she got food like an hour and a half ago. Yeah, what I did with the ship, that was a kind of optimization that won't really pay off. There's not enough time left. When you do get effort from the ship, it's often a race to spend it before the next tick comes and you lose it all. Well, lucky that the human faction can't get any negative effort. That's the only thing that keeps it balanced compared to the robot faction. The robot faction has no upkeep for its units, so if didn't have a ship that gives a faction and that gives effort and that is immune to the effort decay, then humans basically wouldn't have had anything to offer compared to the robots. The roboticist gains 1.5 times the effort from manufacturing buys, and the xenobiologists can build those agri-plots, which are also capable of giving you effort even if you have a negative effort income. If you're using xenobiologists, do still make sure you keep a lot of buildings, because, well, the maximum effort is dependent on the hub. So if you get the right idea to sell all those hubs and convert all the water income to agri-plots, you're going to end with a situation where you have a sky-high income, but your maximum effort is just too low for you to take advantage of it. Well, last wave incoming.
As you wish. As you wish.
Initiating.
If you're somewhat experienced with this game, you already know whether or not I'm going to be able to hold. Yeah, it should be obvious now, but this is an easy hold. The enemies are able to do some damage, but not really anything that's going to matter for them. And well, that's it. See you next time.